going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. And I say that because we got to take the racetrack fairings off for 2 reasons. One, we're going to get them prepped for paint. The second is that we want to put the street fairings back on. But before we put the street fairings on, the 3rd bird, we're going to take this into the Kawasaki dealer, and they have an inspection kit to determine whether or not I need further service on that number 5. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ninja One YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. And I say that because we got to take the racetrack fairings off for 2 reasons. One, we're going to get them prepped for paint, and I'll update you guys on that as we make progress. The second is that we want to put the street fairings back on. But before we put the street fairings on, the 3rd bird, we're going to take this into the Kawasaki dealer, and they have an inspection kit to determine whether or not I need further service on that number 5 bushing. So I got 3 notifications in the mail. I'll show those to you. But also, when replacing these fairings from the track to the street, I want to make sure there's a nice clean process and I don't have to substitute anything. So I'm going to show you a few parts, one of which is that under fender here. I've got this somewhat modified to fit this tail, and I don't want to keep taking it on and off. So I bought a new one, and we're going to put the other parts that come with it, the cushion and stuff like that. And then that will be dedicated for street fairings. And then this black undertail fender here will stay inside this once the paint job is done, so I won't have to keep bending it and pulling it out. And then I'm going to walk around the bike and show you those troubled spots so that you can see where I got to do it. After that, I'm just going to take it apart. I'll capture all that. If you want to see how I install these fairings, you can look at the build series. It's in a playlist, and you know, there's no point doing instructions again for this. So, but that'll be it for today's video. The next video after this is going to be our service manager doing the work on the recall. So with that said, let me show you those troubled spots. All right, let me go over some of those troubled spots here. So we will start. This side is pretty good. I didn't really experience any problems on this side. Everything fit good. This panel locked in on the Velcro. And of course I cleared the muffler here. And I can slide this cardboard across it, no problem. So there's plenty of space. And then spacer's holding up really good. Don't see any issues there. And other than that, everything is fitting really good on this side. Okay, so when we get over on this side, it's a little different. All right, so on this side here, actually on both sides, if you look right there, you'll see I put a little rubber grommet right here on the edge. I just cut a round rubber grommet in half and I slid it on that edge so it wouldn't gouge into the frame. So I'm obviously gonna have to file and sand that down before I take it in for paint. And the same with this side. See, I did the same thing here. Okay, so I gotta file that down. This is great. No issues here. All right, so now you can see I have a lot of room in there to get the ECU out. I was able to put it in. If you watch the video, you'll see that I was able to get it in with this all assembled. No other areas here. I do have a replacement part for that cushion right there for the diagnostic connectors, and I'll be putting that on the new fender tail here, the same as what's under here. And then I think that's it. Everything else I'm going to reuse. You know, I'll put this on the street fairings and then, you know, clip in everything accordingly. And then other than that, everything on this part of the bike is pretty well set. Now, you seen I was struggling a little bit with getting those push pins out. I am going to have to drill these even bigger, not only to get them on and off easier, but because they're going to get painted, and that's going to fill in, and I don't want to have to, you know, make the hole bigger with the paint on there. That's that might end up cracking it and everything. So, and then what else do we got? Well, it's not a perfect fit here, but I can live with that. I don't think there's much I can do, you know, to make that fit any better, but it's seated well. The other problem area is this right here. It's not catching, and I think it's a result of the slot that's in here. It's not moving forward all the way. So I just have to play around with this a little bit. Other than that, everything looks good on this side. No issues. Everything's clearing it. The heat tape's holding up pretty good there. All right, get the light up there. That's holding up pretty good. And I'll have to take that off and reassemble it. You know, reapply it while it's getting painted. Other than that, it's a great start for a racetrack bike, and I think with a few more modifications, this thing will look really, really good and perform well. So let me set you up, and I'm going to start tearing this baby apart. Stand by. right, now that I have it all apart, I can explain a little bit more about the undertail fender being replaced with a new one, and I'll kind of go over that a little bit. I also have the dash cowls up here, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So if you look over here on the original, you'll see that I have the key lock out, and I've already put it on the new one. All right, because I'm getting ready to put the street fairings on. Obviously, I can't take this off because it's stuck on there with the sticky. And then there's all these little clips here, which I ordered from Kawasaki of Rome, in Rome, Georgia. And I'm going to replace those clips and cushion pads and all that stuff onto this here when I get those new parts in. So the only thing, by the time I'm done, the only thing I'm going to have to move from one undertail to the other when going from street to track fairings is the lock, and then more than likely the bushings there for the tip over sensor, and then this rubber mounted boot here that holds the starter relay. I'm going to put that on here, okay? But other than that, the tail will have minimal parts transferring between street and track. Now for the dash cowls, all right, you'll see I put those big push pins in there, and they kind of deform the holes, so I didn't want to fumble around putting these onto the street fairings, so I went ahead and bought two more. All right, and this will allow me to, you know, have a good seat once the street fairings are on, good seating on that that dash area. And then also, it does rub a little bit in this corner right here, in that corner, because it's underneath the racetrack fairings. So I really wanted this to look good. But there you go. There's the description of how I'm going to replace these two items between street and track. All right, here she is, all naked. No fairings, no racetrack fairings on her. I did get the fender back on. You'll see that in the video. But I got it prepped right now for the recall. I'm going to take it to the dealership today and have them do the inspection. So we'll see how that all turns out. But temporarily I have the undertail fender off, and I've just got all these accessories and harnesses kind of zip tied up in preparation for a start after the inspection is done. So with that said, I will load this up, and I will show you later at the dealership how that's all set up in my van when I load it and transport it. So stand by.